How you want this, Jack?
And turn around with
This?
I'm trying to figure out who's more excited on our staff, the offensive coaches or the defensive coaches. You know, the offensive coaches are pretty fired up, but the defensive coaches, they don't have to tackle this guy anymore.
I know it hurts losing Gus Edwards to the Chargers and probably losing JK Dobbins to free agency, but at the end of the day, when you look at the moves the Baltimore Ravens have made, you can quickly get over it. They haven't overspent, and they have brought in guys that can contribute on day one. I mean, just look at that Derrick Henry signing. That is going to change the whole dynamic of this offense, and no defense wants to face it. In this video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about who this Ravens team brought in so far this offseason, but more importantly, what their plan is going forward as we head into the draft and then training camp, which is just crazy to say. Time moves way too fast. But like, the Ravens really are putting together a nasty blueprint for the draft, and when we think about where the Ravens are at their best, that is during the NFL draft. They bring in studs. They bring in guys that will be impactful players. I mean, you look at last season, right? Trenton Simpson, he is a guy coming over, a 3rd round pick of last season, who will be a day 1 starter, a replacement for, you know, Patrick Queen, and might even be a Pro Bowler next year if things go how I think they will. Before I get into everything in this video, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 20k subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. Alright, so the first thing we need to talk about here is where the Ravens ranked last season in terms of offense. Number 4 in points per game, but also number 11 in 3rd down conversion, number 2 in 4th down conversions, number 6 in touchdowns per game, but what really stands out to me is where they ranked in the rushing game. Number 3 in yards per carry, number 4 in rushing touchdowns per game, and number 1 in rushing yards per game. This rushing attack was the best in football. And now you add a guy in Derrick Henry who just makes things even better. Now luckily for Baltimore, the Dallas Cowboys never hit up Derrick Henry. In fact, they never even did anything. They just sat there and watched things unfold. And there was a point in time where Derrick Henry said, "Hey, I want to go to the Dallas Cowboys," but they obviously didn't want him, which is very surprising. But either way, the Baltimore Ravens ended up getting a running back here who is an absolute dog, an absolute beast. Over 9,500 yards in his career, 4.7 yards per carry, 90 touchdowns. I mean, since 2018, he hasn't had a season with less than 10 rushing touchdowns. But also, he's been relatively productive in the passing game as well. Back in 2022, about 400 yards in the air. So not only can he run the football, and not only can he get those hard-fought yards, but he can also be a little bit reliable in the passing game, which is very important when it comes to being unpredictable, especially in Baltimore. You cannot be predictable, and with Lamar Jackson and him in the backfield, defenses will not be able to relax one bit at any point in the game. Another big thing to look at as well is that the Ravens last year weren't amazing in terms of converting on 3rd downs. However, Derrick Henry was number 2 in the NFL in 1st downs on rush attempts. But also, when you look at Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, they both ranked number 2. They were tied 2nd overall over the last 2 years in terms of 10+ yard rushes, and now they're both in the same backfield together. And moving over to the NFL draft, which is coming up here very quickly, local reporters and Baltimore fans alike have identified offensive tackle, wide receiver, and cornerback as the Ravens' top roster needs. However, the preferred draft order to address such needs is debatable. To me, Plan A is offensive tackle Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma with pick 30, cornerback Max Melton from the Rutgers at pick 62, and at pick 93, wide receiver Javon Baker out of UCF. But that's just my opinion, and I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think in the comments below. That's really all I got for this video. I know it was a quick one, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about this Ravens team because their roster is so dynamic and it should be a lot of fun to watch. If you enjoyed this video and have not yet, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram. And until next time, I will see you all later.